I believe the reason that Donald Trump says that this war would be over within 24 hours is because he would just give it up.
Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me.
Oh, so y'all a couple. Y'all joined together at the hip, literally. Well, y'all should have told us the whole time. We thought y'all was against things like that.
If he doesn't get the Nobel Peace Prize after this, that thing, it means nothing.
I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States.
What to do with the business is, people? It's your boy That Way with Jack Travis. Jack Travis to be precise, man. Now, you know how we do, you know how we doing it. We are back in this thing again, you understand me, man. Back around here one more time, man. Let's talk about a couple of funny happenings. You dig what I'm saying? We got a world that's on fire right now. Most notably, the United States of America, man. We got all kind of crazy shit going on. Everybody keeping up with the news cycle. I don't think there's anyone out here that's unaware of the current state of our politics here in these United States of America, man. Shout out to the Latinos. You dig what I'm saying? That may have been a bad impression, but it is what it is. We've done episodes about them and the smoke they got coming their way from this new administration. You know what I mean? Leopards out here fat. You've never seen leopards outside of the zoo. We have an active leopard infestation in the United States of America. They come across the board. Leopards. Ain't that about a bitch. But yeah, we talked about them, man. Leopards still out here running wild, eating good, man. I don't know that I would call these two fellas any type of wild, strong, skilled animals out here. You dig what I'm saying? They may be animals, but not in the strongest meaning of the word. You dig what I'm saying? But the two people I'm talking about are one, Donald J. Trump, and a one, J.D. Vance. Now, here a couple days ago, they had a meeting with the one Mr. Zelensky, President Zelensky from over there in the Ukraine, to discuss a couple of things, pertaining to the war that he's in with Putin over there, Putin and Russia. You dig what I'm saying? We all know that Putin invaded Ukraine, it's been a couple years ago now, and a war that Putin said would be over he thought it was about to be like about a week job, about 7 days work. We out of there. Didn't work out that way. The United States has been assisting greatly, Ukraine that is, to stave off the invasion from Putin. At least the Biden administration was. You dig what I'm saying? There's been varying stories about Donald Trump and his involvement with Putin and his love and affection for Putin, and how he admires his dictator ways and how he tries to mimic it within his new administration. So the pressure doesn't seem to be the same as the administration that just left, or the willingness to provide aid to Ukraine and Zelensky in their efforts. You dig what I'm saying? And so Zelensky came to the White House, and it was an interesting exchange. But, like I just said, we had some warning signs. We had people that told us, that told you, what to look forward to from one Donald J. Trump as it pertains to these issues.
I believe the reason that Donald Trump says that this war would be over within 24 hours is because he would just give it up. And that's not who we are as Americans. Let's understand what happened here. I actually met with Zelensky a few days before Russia invaded, tried through force to change territorial boundaries, to defy one of the most important international rules and norms, which is the importance of sovereignty and territorial integrity. And I met with President Zelensky. I shared with him American intelligence about how he could defend himself. Days later, I went to NATO's eastern flank, to Poland and Romania. And through the work that I and others did, we brought 50 countries together to support Ukraine in its righteous defense. And because of our support, because of the air defense, the ammunition, the artillery, the javelins, the Abrams tanks that we have provided, Ukraine stands as an independent and free country. If Donald Trump were president, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv right now. And understand what that would mean, because Putin's agenda is not just about Ukraine. Understand why the European allies and our NATO allies are so thankful that you are no longer president, and that we understand the importance of the greatest military alliance the world has ever known, which is NATO, and what we have done to preserve the ability of Zelensky and the Ukrainians to fight for their independence. Otherwise, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv with his eyes on the rest of Europe, starting with Poland. And why don't you tell the 800,000 Polish Americans right here in Pennsylvania how quickly you would give up for the sake of favor and what you think is a friendship with what is known to be a dictator who would eat you for lunch.
What's going on right now? You know, it's crazy, man. I hadn't really, since the election, Ms. Harris just she's just living her life, man. She's living her best. So I sort of forgot about, just her dynamic. You know what I'm saying? And I just watched her speak. And this is the same woman that they ran around. If she fumbled a word in a particular speech, in a particular interview, they run around with memes talking about this lady can't talk. She's always drunk. Despite the millions of gaffes, thousands of gaffes, that's the one Donald Trump has when he spoke. You dig what I'm saying? But she laid it out. She said the reason I think that this war would be over in day one is because he would give it up. And once you watch this little exchange right here, man, it's pretty telling. You know what I'm saying? It goes along the lines of what we hearing, cuz. It's wild the world we live in, man. But without further ado, we're gonna get into this the main part of the footage, and then I've got plenty of other videos to tie into it. You know how I do. I like to find different angles on this thing and bring it to my folks. So we're gonna get into this exchange between Zelensky, Trump, and J.D. Vance. Let's go.
And now I'm talking with my friends in Poland, and they are worried that you align yourself too much with Putin. What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred, and I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I want to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2015.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was,
he
I
killed.
was not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly
but-
right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people are been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr.
are not
President,
strong-
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for
Have you
trying to
ever
bring
been-
an end to this
Have
conflict.
you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens.
I've never been on the front lines, but what I have done is watched and read stories and read on Twitter accounts of Twitter bots and trolls that describe what's going on in Ukraine. I don't watch coverage. I'm the vice president. No, I hadn't traveled over there, close over there to see what the hell is actually going on. But I trust the right-wing Newsmax sources that report information. I have actually. For you to say I have actually, you're supposed to say I've actually spent 3 days in the trenches. You dig what I'm saying? I almost rocked one of them suits you had on, but they ain't had my size. When you say actually, it's like you finna say something prolific. I actually watched it on TV and read an account from someone on Twitter.
Is you bring people, you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's
I will
respectful
answer.
to come to the Oval Office
I
of
will
the United
answer.
States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know that.
bless. You
Don't-
will not have
gotta-
a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's exactly
Remember
what
this.
you're doing.
I'm not
You're in
dictating.
no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
you will
good.
feel influenced.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From the
it.
very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a good
Brown,
position.
I was
You don't
in
have
a-
the cards right now. With us, you start
I'm
having
not playing
cards.
cards.
Right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're
you-
gambling with World War
What you're-
III.
what you're
You're
speaking
gambling
about?
with
What you're
World
speaking
War
about?
III. And
You-
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
I'm
That's
with
back
all
to
respect
you.
to your
Far
answer.
more than a lot of people
very
said they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once? This
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the
What-
United
what
States
you're
of
speaking
America
about?
and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not
Yeah.
speaking loudly. Your country is
Can I-
in big
can I-
trouble.
can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No.
Can
You've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this. you have a damn good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid
thank you.
president, $350 billion.
You voted
We gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about
If
West
you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
you invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak-
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I
Again,
tell you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of times thank you to American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't please,
you're running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're
I
saying
said-
you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what-
That
what
wasn't
this
with me.
means. It
That was
wasn't
with
with you.
a guy named Biden who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your,
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins.
This man not an absolute curmudgeon. An absolute curmudgeon. There's Obama again. There's that mama there that man. What boy brother say on TV? Mama, there goes that man. Oh my God, he occupies the head. I mean, rent free, full stop. Can't keep Obama's name out your mouth. Now, that was interesting. There's still a couple of minutes of that to go down. But I just had to jump in here real quick, man, because there's a couple of things to address. You understand what I'm saying? So, Zelensky, starts this thing by basically telling them, you're going to feel the effects of not supporting Ukraine in this whole thing. If we go down, if we continue to be choked off from the world, or per se, you're gonna feel it in America. They jump in on their tough guy shit to jump. Oh, don't tell us what we're gonna feel, nigga. We gonna feel nothing but sunshine rays. Let the clouds roll in. What we gonna feel? Zelensky is talking about, there's a couple, and I won't spoil the further videos and get into this thing, but he's there to make a deal, not just to get something, but, Trump and the administration also want something in return. That's what Zelensky is talking about. You're going to feel it. If we can't make a deal, then you're also not getting what you want out of the deal. And you definitely need it, or you wouldn't be asking for it. From what I understand, if I'm not mistaken, we get a huge amount of our wheat from Ukraine, just for starters. You understand what I'm saying? But there's some things that the administration wants right now that they need. You know what I mean? President Elon needs a couple of things. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm not going to spoil it, though. I'll get into it a little later. But he got out telling them that. They jumped off the bridge about that and got to talking to him crazy. And, you hear Trump say, you're not playing cards. You don't have the cards. And listen, say, I'm not here playing cards. We're talking about war. Real things, real human casualties going on. I'm not playing cards. This is not a game. Trump and his sycophants on his side think everything is a game. Everything is a political play. You dig what I'm saying? Zelensky can have it, none of it. Then here you go with J.D. Vance. Did you say thank you? Did you say thank you one time? Man, Zelensky did a tremendous job of handling himself in this interview. If you ask my opinion about it, and it's my show, I'm doing the talking. That way with Jack Travis, so that's what I say. But yeah, man, like I said, we got a couple more minutes of it, but I just wanted to jump in and just kind of address a couple of things that that had went on so far. Let's continue.
You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards, but without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make,
Um,
because the attitudes have to change.
what if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do you do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you
but
saying?
what
She's
if
asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now?
But they have
Okay?
broken ceasefire
What if they broke it?
many
I don't know. They broke it with Biden, because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me.
But what
Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with
Warned, you've been told. Him and Putin are buddies. Did you hear what he just said? Putin went through a lot with me, as if that's like his side chick or something. Like that's his girl. They went through a traumatic situation together. Again, remember that Putin is a dictator that is in an illegal war trying to take over someone's land. Donald Trump is saying, hey man, me and this man went through the trenches together. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my buddy. We got a bond.
He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is, I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? Huh? This is going to be great television, I will say that. All right. We'll see what we can do about putting it together. Thanks.
Now, there's another part of this meeting that I have to show you all, because there's apparently a blind guy, or this is like the first person I've seen whose face was so overgrown to where his eyes don't open. But he had a very insightful and well thought out question for Mr. Zelensky. Check him out.
Question for President Zelensky. Do you ever? Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if you own a suit.
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not
Really,
respecting.
I don't
the
have
dignity of this
such.
office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one.
Maybe something
maybe
like this.
something like
Yes,
yours.
sir.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper than yeah. Thank you. Thank you for.
Believe it or not, people, that was Majin Buu. Majin Buu has a problem with Zelensky not wearing a suit. Majin Buu is a real person. And guess who Majin Buu, I don't know if he's married to her, but he's most certainly in a relationship with her. Majin Buu is in a relationship with bad built, bleach blonde Butch Body. Is that it? Marjorie Taylor Greene. Just look at these two. Majin Buu and Marjorie. Hell of a thing. Hell of a thing, people. Now, I will have you know that I've got a little information on as to why Zelensky wears what he wears. That attire is to show solidarity with his troops. Apparently, that's what the troops wear, or higher up officials out in the front lines, out in the trenches. It's military wear. He doesn't shave to also show solidarity with his soldiers. He said he's not going to shave until the war is over. Now, obviously, he has shaved. He's a president of a country. If he hadn't shaved in 2-3 years or so, he'd have a big beard. You dig what I'm saying? But the rough and scruff look, again, show solidarity with soldiers. I guess he would rather Zelensky cut all the hair off his face, put a suit on, and then inject air into his jaws and forehead and eyes to appear like Majin Buu. I guess that will satisfy them. Now, there were, of course, chuds on the right side of things that, went on their normal apology tour and making excuses and swearing that Trump did his thing. And, Trump went hard. This is what America needs. This is what I voted for. America. Type shit. You dig what I'm saying? But there's one person in particular, that was a theme in this conversation. He had some very glowing remarks about what he heard in that exchange between Trump, Vance, and Zelensky. Let's see what Brad had to say about everything. How he feel.
У нас, безусловно, на порядок, я хочу это подчеркнуть, на порядок больше ресурсов подобного рода, чем в Украине. Россия является одним из безусловных лидеров по запасам этих редких и редкоземельных металлов. Они у нас имеются и на севере, в Мурманске, на Кавказе, в Кабарде-на-Балкарии, на Дальнем Востоке, в Иркутской области, в Якутии, в Тыве. Это достаточно капиталоемкие инвестиции, проекты капиталоемкие. Мы с удовольствием работали бы совместно с любыми иностранными партнерами, в том числе с американскими. Да, кстати говоря, что касается новых территорий, то же самое. Мы готовы привлечь иностранных партнеров и так называемые новые наши исторические территории, которые вернули в состав Российской Федерации. Там тоже есть запасы определенные. Мы готовы с нашими партнерами, в том числе с американскими, работать там.
Is that Russia needs more access to more rare earth minerals, and that the Ukraine is one of, if not the world leader in rare earth mineral deposits. You understand what I'm saying? Resources. And Putin says that they need more of them, so that they should be able to go into Ukraine and take them. And if we stop helping Ukraine in the war, that's exactly what's going to happen. But there's also another person out here. Because, you heard Zelensky talking about terms of the deal. You heard him say he needs security guarantees, You're going to feel it. He was speaking about the concessions that the United States wants in return. That's what Putin was just speaking about. President Elon reportedly wants plenty lithium, all the lithium he can get out of Ukraine for his little car battery. You dig what I'm saying? And you hear Putin say that he'd be happy to work with his international partners, including the American ones. Now, I don't know anybody in America above board that does business with Putin in Russia. Be an interesting thing to uncover if it is. And like I say, you followed this video down the rabbit hole so far, and sound like he has a business partner in Donald Trump. You dig what I'm saying? But that's what Putin had to say about this thing. You dig what I'm saying? Now we've got a couple of reactions. Actually, let's get into exactly what, or a couple of terms of the deal about this mineral deal, man. So basically, it seems that at the last minute when they got to the meeting, Trump and his administration were pushing for like 500 billion in minerals and in return on investment. The original talks were centered around 300 billion, and security measures as far as those javelins and rockets and tanks and guns and all of that, rations that they need in order to keep fighting the war. And basically, from what I'm gathering, the old tactic: tell them one price, they show up, you give them another price, and feel like they have to accept it. So when he showed up, the off had increased by 200 billion, and Zelensky is like, "You're not even giving me security measures in that. It's already a different deal than we had already discussed. You're trying to strong arm me on TV." Just despicable shit, man. You dig what I'm saying? Just crazy despicable shit. But we've got a couple of more videos before we wrap this thing up, man. And they have to do with, like I said, around this mineral deal. Now, you've got people all around. Now, I've got a couple more videos to show some reactions from other people internationally that were on the other side of what Putin was saying and how he felt about this thing. And this has just got implications, man. Like, America is in a partnership with all the countries, all the continents, and all the big time money movers and industries and stocks and all, international monies. It's all a web. It's all like an organism, man. Like, you can't afford to take too strong of a stance in any area of industry, because we work so much with other parts of the world, whether we're outsourcing jobs, manufacturing, or buying products, things that don't grow well in the United States. I mean, you could go down the list. And if you piss people off, it's not like people have to have the United States to thrive. In fact, I think we may be putting ourselves into a cycle to where people, because I know, black people in America after this current election cycle are taking it upon themselves to just go more internally and stop paying attention to the noise. Each one teach one. You dig what I'm saying? Type of situation. So we may be thrusting ourselves into a situation where the rest of the world is like, you know what, man, F America, bro. Let's be self-sustaining, in a manner of speaking. Whatever we were buying from America, whatever we needed from America, let's go about doing without. You understand what I'm saying? Let's make them understand that we're just as important, in which they may not be in terms of actual monies spent and things like that. But again, there's certain things that we can't go without, man. Like I said, we get a lot of wheat from Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not an advocate for Elon, but he needs lithium for his batteries. You dig what I'm saying? So if they don't get it, then that's going to affect Tesla and its stocks. Stocks are dropping as we speak anyways. You know what I'm saying? So there's a cause and effect to all of this, man. So we may be putting ourselves in a situation where people are around the world are willing to take that route. Canada's had some choice things to say. And so, it's just been mixed reactions. So let's check this video out, man, and just kind of see what the general tenor is after that fiery exchange between the two of those individuals, the three of them.
The mineral deal is not enough on its own, but can I just remind him, Russia is the aggressor. Zelensky is a war leader whose country has been invaded. And we should all be supporting him and not fawning over Putin.
Mr. Trump, quit groveling for the nutsack of Putin. That's what that man just told you. J.D. Vance, you also have a wife. Remove Trump's nutsacks from your hand, sir, please. And thank you. You dig what I'm saying? It's just too much glazing out here, man. I don't even understand it, bro. Like, we used to abide by a standard of, like, would you let him date your daughter? You understand what I'm saying? Just that simple, bro. Every man and woman of age out here could understand that simple saying, that simple analogy. Would you let that person date your daughter? And the current people that we promote to being the visible members, the guiding members of our society, bro, are absolutely the type of person, the type of people that you would not let date your daughter. You wouldn't let your son date the women of our current political movement. You know what I'm saying? And that may stretch to some on the left. I'm not a staunch advocate for the left. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I'll get them smoke too, but it's just currently every time you turn the TV on these days, it's just people from the right side just do the cringiest, stupidest, most spineless maneuvers out here, man, just to, I don't even know to do what, stay in power, because it looks like the power that they are exercising right now, it may be about 2 years lived. You dig what I'm saying? By the time these primaries come up, because they're going too hard, too fast, offending everybody. Their voter base is losing their collective goddamn mind right now. Check your internet, you see plenty crime videos. So, you know, it's a wild thing we live in, man. But we got let's check out this little of course Fox. Of course Fox has got a classic take on everything. They see a different video than everybody in the world. So let's see what they had to say over there at Fox.
Luxembourg doesn't have the weapons to give them.
I think we got to get back to the central point. I think the most important point that Donald Trump made in this whole thing, he said, you are gambling with World War III.
Yep.
This was about peace, ultimately. There's a lot of drama, and we can break down everybody's feelings. But in the end, I think what's remarkable is that we have a president who's willing to do anything to bring about world peace. Man, if he doesn't get the Nobel Peace Prize after this, that thing, it means nothing.
That was real TV. Ms. Lady in the Middle says that if Donald Trump doesn't win the Nobel Peace Prize, then that thing is worth nothing. That's the central thing. You got to remember that Donald Trump is deserving of the Nobel Peace Prize for wanting to play niceys with Putin, a guy that obviously wants to be a dictator, ruler of the world. You understand what I'm saying? Invading people willy-nilly. Trump say he want me to talk mean to him. Why would I do that? We can't get no deal done working and talking mean to people that's doing crazy shit. That ain't the way to do it. And Miss Lady on Fox says for that statement, he should earn himself the Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah. Turn on Fox any day of the week. But you know, Fox is also the place that will tell you, after being sued for $787 million and losing and having to pay, if you read their court documents, they will say that our readers are just stupid. They're too dumb to understand that this is really like a parody television network. They should know that we lying. They should know that we kind of spin the truth. It's in black and white. That's why Tucker Carlson is out of there. They'll pay that no never mind, man. But that's the current state of affairs where we are, man. And so I had to bring it to my people, man. That's how we do it over here on That Way with Jack Travis. But until we get some new information, new updates, at least on that situation, I'll be out of here. But I definitely got other videos to bring you all, so stay tuned, man. Next couple of days we'll be uploading plenty. But until then, this has been That Way with Jack Travis. I get it y'all soon. Blah.